speaker is Mr. Ryohei Nyumura from Aoyama Gakuin University. He will deliver the speech under the title of Care for My Mother, Care for Our Mother. Care for my mother, care for our mother. So, Mr. Nyumura, please come up to the stage.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, all judges and Krishna, and very large audience. Thank you for coming today in spite of your tight schedule. Okay, let me start my speech. First of all, let me introduce our mother. When she was young, she was cheerful and healthy. But as time passed by, she changed. A fat body and thin legs. What happened to her? No problem. She was just aging. Her thin legs shaking against the weight of her body. She's about to drop down. Now she needs care. Do you know who she is? Imagine Japan's comparison here. Yes, she is our mother country, Japan. Now Japan is an aging society. The fat body is the many Asian people, and thin legs are the Korean people. Despite there being so few of us, the young have this power to many Asian people. Now we need care for Japan's aging. How? Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm talking about Japan's aging. To share my opinion that how we care for our parents, we still care for Japan. Generally speaking, Japan's aging population affects our future, such as the economy, tax payment, and our health. However, I believe for us children, the biggest problem is nothing care. In the future, getting older, more and more parental generation cannot live by themselves. On the other hand, future generation have to support them mentally, physically, and economically. Look at today's situation. Even now, nothing care is one of the biggest social problems in Japan. As caregivers, many children bear the burden to support our parents. The Professor Mr. Tairo Kitahara says 80% of caregivers have back pain or mental illness. Due to the burden, some of exhausted children abandon nothing care, abuse their parents, and in the worst case, commit suicide. I cannot ignore this miserable fact because my mother has experienced a major operation, and it is natural for me to imagine I will be caregiver for her. Of course, under this aging society, you are not exception. Why the stress of caregivers not softened? Why does Japanese government not save caregivers? You may be thinking, our government is all responsible for this problem. However, those statements may be too optimistic. Please look at today's situation more carefully. Actually, our government bears the burden to support exhausted caregivers. Year by year, it has spent more and more money on nursing care and established many facilities and services. For example, nursing homes, daycare services, and social state. However, their services couldn't save all caregivers. Why? That's because, beyond that, more and more Asian people need the services. On the other hand, the source of revenue is shrinking because of decreasing birth rate. So I don't think it's a priority to improve the services much more. As our parents aging, we children will bear the burden to support our Asian parents. And as Japan's aging, our government will bear the growing burden to support exhausted caregivers. What a vicious cycle. As for this problem, we tend to focus on how Japanese government sustains the stress of caregivers. But the true point is how we can minimize the total amount of nursing care itself at individual level. But what I ask you today is not something special. Health prevention. Ladies and gentlemen, let's care for our parents in our daily life. For example, check parent health during the conversation, walk with them, prevent them from drinking too much, bring them to the hospital once in 2 years, or if you are far from them, call them and ask, how are you doing? Of course, as you know, we can do it, and we should do it. All I want to address today is, we should do what we can do. Because I believe, if we can amend our attitude toward being healthy, we will surely prevent our parents from nursing care as much as possible. However, ironically, we tend to take being healthy for granted. Unfortunately, this way of thinking is another cause to nursing care. We need something beyond the border. In order for us to be truly conscious about our future, we should realize our parents are aging, and we have the possibility to be caregivers. Let me explain my experience. One day, when I was talking about nursing care with my mother, she said, I won't be your burden in the future. I want to live without your help. Her message seemed very strong. However, at the time, I detected her white hair, which I didn't usually notice. My mother was Asian. This was a moment when I realized she would need nursing care someday in the future, and I decided to keep caring for my parents ever after. Care for our parents. Maybe this is a tiny step, but it's good enough. Even the first step is a tiny step. That's because one tiny step will move around the people surrounding them. People's tiny step will move their country. That means care for our parents where they come. Care for our mother, Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, now my mother and father are Asian. Also, our mother, Japan, is Asian. Without our help, my parents and our mother will surely drop down. So let's care for our parents in our daily life before it's too late. If each of us appreciates being healthy, we are no longer the thin legs, but the wiry ones to support our mother country, Japan. Thank you.
We would like to move on to the question and answer session. Ms. Morimoto, please.
Hello, and thank you for sharing your story. And your topic about the aging society is important as it affects all of us here today. And I'm sorry that the younger generation have to share the burden. My first question is that your idea about taking the first step to take care for your own family is a great idea. But there are some people who say, oh, I'm too busy with my studies, or I'm too busy, or so. So what do you say if you have a friend who says that, oh, I'm too busy, or I can't really care for my family?
Okay, of course, I agree with this opinion, because of course I think this suggestion is very trivial and not attractive. However, the reason why I reached this suggestion is there are no specific suggestion for this problem. So thinking about this aging society, and let me see. So there is I advise him or her. So there are no suggestion anything else. So I say.
Okay, thank you very much. And my next question is, sometimes we hear about tragic cases of caregivers who are stressed and burned out because they're caring for their family members. What could be done to give support to these people?
I'm sorry, could you revise?
Okay. My next question is, even though it is really important to first take care of our own families,
Yes.
caregivers could get stressed out or burned out. So what do you think could be done to give support?
Okay, caregivers tend to store the stress in his or herself. So, and especially they hesitate to how hard it is to their own children. So we can. It is harder to see how hard he is, but so we should thinking about his or her some kind of kindness. We should understand how hard he is, his or her is,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. So your topic, care for my mother, care for our mother,
Yes.
I think you have a very strong message here. So what would you like your audience to remember about this speech?
Okay. Of course, may almost always think my suggestion health prevention is very tiny and not attractive. However, I want to say how serious the aging society is and nursing care is. What we can do is very limited, and the problem is that we are not interested in health prevention. So we should do what we can do. That's all.
Thank you very much.